Brad here from Unwired View. I want to talk to you a little bit today about the Blackberry Style. Now I know what you're thinking. The Blackberry Style, could this make me cool? Well, if you're asking that question, the answer is probably no. Yeah, the Blackberry Style is awesome, but can it make you cool? Just for having it, oh hey, check out my Blackberry Style. I'm cool now, right? Probably not. Sorry to tell you. Somebody had to break it to you. So don't blame me, I'm just the messenger. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about the Blackberry Style as a phone. How does it hold up? Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the style. Is it a cool modern phone? Or is it just a complete dud that has to call itself the style because it needs to make itself feel better about itself? Well, that's a very good question. And I have the answers for you. So let's get into it. Blackberry Style is $99 with Sprint. Of course, that's with a new 2-year contract. But how does it hold up against all the other phones in the same price range? Well, let's start off with a few things. First, the Blackberry Style is a nice little flippy phone. That's right, I said flippy phone. That is the technical term. Okay, it's a clamshell, I guess is the proper term. But you know, that's how cool I am, right? I'm a cool guy. I can call it a flippy phone and feel better about myself. So, flip phone, Blackberry, it's been done once before. It went okay, but is this going to be a success? What I'd like to do is we're going to find out together. Blackberry Style with Sprint, let's do it. Well everyone, welcome to the Blackberry Style. It's nice up and close here. Just looking at the front, giving it some good first impressions. Well, you really gotta love how much of a fingerprint magnet this is. Wow, that's a lot of fingerprints. But that's what you get for the glossy finish, you know. Looking at the back, I like the gunmetal finish here. Really makes it look a bit more classy, I'd say. And it just really adds to the overall BlackBerry look and feel. Obviously BlackBerry tries to keep a lot of consistency between all their devices. Okay, so flipping it back closed, first thing we notice is the front screen, the analog clock, and then down here we've got some extra little notifications. So if we want to actually preview some of those notifications, we can go through. You can see I'm just using my, my index finger here to go through and surf through all the different text messages and emails. So let's say I want to go into this one here. I can just click the convenience button and it gives me a preview. Now it's not going to let me read the whole thing because it's kind of a long email, but it's better than nothing. It intrigues me. Okay, I want to read it. Well, I'm going to flip it open and go into the messages. Now if I don't press the convenience key, after a little while it just automatically goes into preview. And I can just keep skipping through. So, really nice to be able to have that ability on the front display. So at least that way, it's more than just simply date and time and letting you know who's calling you. So, alright. Now, the other thing about the back here is we've got a 5 megapixel camera. Yeah, 5 megapixel camera. It's pretty nice. Nice resolution, I should say, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail on how it actually holds up as a camera overall. It also comes with an LED flash there, as you can tell, and video recording capability at VGA resolution. On the side here, the convenience button we already talked about, and then the volume keys. So the usuals for a BlackBerry. Convenience button, essentially that's a nice little shortcut button. If you have a specific app that you pull up more often than others, you can just have that as B. Okay, just really quickly I'm going to press that, boom, and you're in. On this side, we got the micro USB and the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Over here, we got the section where you can just get your micro SD card out. Right now there's an 8 gigabyte card in there built in, but you can actually put in your own card that has up to 32 gigs on it. So if you're listening to a lot of music or watching a lot of movies, that's what you want to do. Let's take a look at the keyboard itself. The keyboard, you see, it's got a little bit of the 3D effect going on. This is rather standard with most of BlackBerry's devices. Certainly the Bold, the Tour, some of the curve models, the 8800, all these will have the same kind of style or this one has the same style as the other keyboards in that sense. So now the keys here, that the raised feel, it's really not too terribly raised. It's enough so that you can tell the difference, and they're separated out between all the different keys. So it's still pretty easy to type on this. Granted, the keyboard itself is a little bit smaller. It's about the same size as the Torch. And you know, I mean, you take a look at a flip phone, they're trying to condense as much space as possible on this thing. And so they do have to make it a little bit smaller because of that. But to me, it was not necessarily a difference maker. It was still easy enough for me to type. It's just not as easy for what that's worth. Now, up here, this is the standard BlackBerry setup here. So we've got the call and answer buttons. We've got the menu button, trackpad, going back, and of course hang up also doubles as the power button and screen lock. Nice little chrome finish on the outside, but again, fingerprint magnet. So if you don't want it to have your fingerprints showing, you're going to have to get a nice little cloth to clean it up every once in a while, just to get that cool little chrome finish, the shine back into it. Blackberry Style, I was worried when it first came out. We first heard word about it because we're thinking, okay, another flip phone from BlackBerry. The first one didn't work out so well because it was more of a short type where it wasn't even the full keyboard. And then I started thinking, well, this one's now it's going to have a full keyboard. It's going to be even wider. Is it going to just be too short and fat here to really feel comfortable? And like overall in the hand, yeah, there is a little bit of awkwardness in the size of it all, but considering what it's able to pack in, I'm okay with that. So still easy enough to flip open with one hand, which is important to most people, I'd say. Like certainly it's super easy to open with two hands, but for me, obviously just flipping it with one thumb makes it really nice and easy. The build quality, well, it's a BlackBerry, so BlackBerry always does a great job of making their products exceptionally solid and durable, and you know, it makes you feel like it's going to last a really long time. So I don't feel like by dropping this is going to break. Obviously, I don't recommend that. Don't drop it, or yeah, at least get a case, you know. But if that were to happen, worst case scenario, at least it feels like it would be able to withstand a little bit of extra abuse. Whether it can or not, well, that remains to be seen because it's just a brand new device. We haven't really tried it out in that way yet. So, for what it's worth, good solid build there. One thing that I also like is just the fact that it's got OS 6 on it now. I did a little bit of a review on the BlackBerry Torch's version of the OS 6, and so if you have seen OS 6 before, all of this is going to look incredibly familiar to you. Down here, you have all sorts of different sections that you can scroll back and forth to. Helps filter out, so you don't necessarily have to have them all on the same tray. It's one thing that we've noticed with some of the earlier versions of BlackBerry is there's just one app tray. Everything has to fit in there. So at least this way, it can filter out a little bit. If I have certain ones that I'm going to all the time, I can scroll over here and it would be in my favorites. I just haven't put any in yet. So now to scroll and get the full tray open, I think the easiest way is just to double click the menu button and it pops open. And you got everything there. Now this is going to look all very familiar because it's very BlackBerry-esque. So now what if I want to open applications or go to applications that are already open? I just hold down the menu button for a few seconds and it pulls up all these different programs that are currently running in the background. So I can easily go back in there and quickly go to them. Go back and forth, boom, boom, Now I can go to my browser. Good times, right? Right. Okay. Now up here we've got the notification bar. Notification bar, I can just certainly see how many messages I have. I've got a lot of emails in there, some Twitter updates, some Facebook updates. Also something about a calendar. That I can have all my latest calendar appointments right there in the notification bar. So I really like having that. Over to the left, this is where I can adjust out and just put it in silent mode or normal mode, whatever I want to do. Moving over to the right here is another feature of OS 6 that is new to BlackBerry, and that's the universal search. So I can press this and pull up the search bar, which is nice, that's great. But I don't necessarily have to do that to get in there. I can just go into the keyboard and start typing whatever the heck I want. Okay, so this just pulls up a whole list of my contacts and my apps in that order. So I can just keep typing as I want to continue filtering it through. Like so. Okay. So those are just a few little things about OS 6.